Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
This is Hear It Here with Sudhi and Suchi. Now, I am Suchi, in case you thought I was Sudhi, and this is...
Sudhi, Sudhi re,
Sudhi re, Sudhi re, tere bina main kaise jiyoon. Very easily.
Hi.
Hi. Hear It Here with Sudhi and Suchi. We've got a lot of information coming right up.
So, it's that time of the show where we are going to be sharing with you fresh and breaking news which is happening in and around Bollywood on Hear It Here with Sudhi and
Suchi!
Thank you, you're awake. Spider-Man, Suchi, is now the biggest grossing film in India, to be more specific. In pandemic era India, it has already made 138 crores. And it is the third film to have reached the 1 billion mark worldwide. And the first two were Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame.
And now it's Makdi Manush.
Moving on.
Satyamev Jayate 2, despite having John Abraham in it in not one, not two, 3 roles, didn't do much business at the box office. Can you believe that?
Shocking.
Completely shocking.
Shocking.
And then, of course, Salman Bhai's Antim, you know, the one that he had done with his brother-in-law in it. Antim, the final judgment or something it's called, the final truth. Well, that couldn't make it at the box office either. And this is after 2 huge debacles at the box office for Salman before this, which was Dabangg 3 and Radhe.
We're hoping that, of course, Salman is back, Suchi, and he's going to be, as always, punching his way out of this little conundrum that he finds himself in. But, of course, talking about sport, we are now going to be treated to 2 films based on cricket. And they are, of course, 83 and Jersey. And apparently this was going to happen for the very first time in Bollywood. Oh, wait a minute! I have something even more breaking for you, Suchi, which is that Jersey has been delayed because of course, the unfortunate breakout of Omicron. But yes, these 2 films are cricket-based, and 83, of course, accounts for the monumental spectacle that took place in Indian cricket, which was the World Cup win, the very first one that we won. Jersey stars Shahid Kapoor, and of course is a remake of a film which was originally of Telugu, and I've seen it and I want to move along. Well, the nation finally knows, and yes, we can rest. You, of course, have now been treated to all the news which is really fresh and is happening in and around Bollywood. And of course, now it's time where Suchi and I go and get into the story aspect of the show.
Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
It's always nice, na Suchi, when you have appreciation come your way, the accolades. Pretty much that's what you work for as a performer, right?
Yeah, true. And, coupled with a bit of humility, I think it makes a hell of a lot more, it stands for a whole lot more when it comes to...
Well said, yeah.
When it comes to... And one of those stars, I think, is Ayushmann Khurrana.
Yeah.
Because he's come up the hard way. He's, had the struggle. He's done the rounds, per se, and got the success. But I think he's one person who, it hasn't gone to his head, which was kind of evident now when he was shooting for Anek in Shillong.
And apparently there were these 200 or 250 college kids who were very excited and they wanted to see him and all of that.
So in the night after shoot, apparently he was having his dinner in the hotel, and these 250 kids came outside the hotel, and gate crashed. They were chanting his name, wanting to meet him, etc. And instead of being a so-called star or whatever, he just got up from his dinner, went out there, and met all of them, took photographs with all of them. That's what it makes it all worthwhile, frankly. I think a lot more stars should kind of live with this thing of they are what they are because of all of these people, and apparently he was...
this happened to him in Dr. G as well, in, I believe, which is the city where
Allahabad, was it?
Allahabad University, yes.
This happened for Dr. G's thing. But
shoot as well, yeah.
But way to go, Ayushmann. I mean, this is the way to take the fame.
I think it's just kudos.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely wonderful, especially the younger generation, and how our population makes them into demigods. It's very easy for things to get to their heads.
Completely go awry in terms of lose direction.
Yeah,
focus,
lose direction,
whatever.
And keep the fame on top of everything else.
It's never happened to me because I always make sure that those 5 people who know me, I spend time with them, man.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Humility, humility, humility.
It's now 6, Suchi. I'm just saying.
Right.
Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
I have two extremely fascinatingly talented actors with me, and I'm of course talking about the ever so gorgeous and ever so well coordinated Vaani Kapoor and and of course the ever so brilliant Ayushmann Khurrana. I have to do the echo, Khurrana. Khurrana.
Thank you so much. Thank you, that was a wonderful introduction.
Fabulous. All right. So, of course, Vaani, I have to say this on the show. I said it to you a little while back. I think you're a fabulous dancer.
Thank you.
And how do you do it? Because I've tried it, Ayushmann. I cannot dance to save my life. I look like a giraffe giving birth, basically. So, what is it? Please tell me.
It is trying to evade all the abuses on in front of the camera, in front of a lot of people when you're performing. Because I remember Vaibhavi still taking people aside and saying, "My God, she can't. She doesn't know her center. How am I supposed to make her dance?" And these are actual. Yeah, I did not see. I'm not a trained dancer. I
That's
learned it on
interesting.
the
I didn't
job.
know that.
Like
Yeah.
in class 12th, I didn't know my center of board exams.
Good, I didn't know. Well done, I see.
Okay then, we moved to another center. But
I was thinking gravity center.
Wait,
so
That is what it is? Oh,
yeah, like like how you hold your center and you
Center.
dance and you're not like going all over the place. And
do that
Kind of
again
making
because
it
that
very
just looks a
graceful.
lot like me.
yeah, so.
But it's amazing. You know what? I definitely need to mention this about the fact that the kind of stuff that you've been picking up in terms of the roles, it seems that you're trying to carve out a very different sort of a path for yourself. Am I right? Am I wrong?
The intention is that, I don't know now, see, also opportunities that come one's way, you only can pick out of those handful opportunities. So it's not entirely my decision or my call.
Fair.
Has to do with a lot that's coming my way, and I've, like with a film like Chandigarh Kare Aashiki, a film like Shamshera, I feel like I'm tremendously blessed, and I'm just hoping that more and more exciting projects can come my way.
Fabulous. Khurrana Sahab, welcome to the show. Balle, I showered you. So, Khurrana Sahab, I
clearly not a Punjabi. Bollywood drama.
I had to do that.
Yeah.
But Khurrana Sahab, I have to say, Andhadhun was something which blew my brains.
Okay.
I thought you were brilliant in it.
Thank you.
But the first thing that I want to ask you both, of course, and Vaani can, of course, follow whatever is the case in terms of this question. Do you believe energy follows thought?
Of course, 100%.
Okay.
Energy always follows thought, I think. You have to have a certain vision in life.
Sure.
And you just...
Especially after you've gotten LASIK done, yes, it works.
Yeah, we have having this conversation.
Yeah.
You are...
I'm blind right now, yeah,
now.
but that's fine.
Welcome to Andhadhun. Yeah.
You'll just be looking for
You
us.
look gorgeous, Vaani, by
Thank
the
you.
way.
It's coming straight from your heart. I can feel it.
It is.
So, yeah, coming back to the question, energy follows thought. Yes, of course. I think till the time you don't think about a certain thing and you don't work towards it, nothing's going to happen.
So true.
So I also believe in positive thinking, but I'm also a realist at the same time.
Sure.
I also, just see a lot of other aspects before thinking about a certain project or whatever aspiration in life.
Nice.
So I'm also a realist. So
Very
I'm somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Such a balance. He found his center.
Yeah.
But,
Clearly.
but what about you? Do you believe this, Vaani? We were, of course, talking about
Yeah,
this
we
a
were
little bit.
talking about it.
And
off
yeah,
camera.
so we're not going to cheat. We're going to tell everyone. And you, of course, believe in it. Do you
Yes,
feel
I do.
also it helps you, especially as an actor? Because that seems to be always the case, right? If you're playing a new character, if you're doing all of that, you're trying to follow the energy of that particular character.
Of course, you're supposed to, you're creating something so entirely new and also have a bit of yourself in it and also make it different at the same
Sure.
time. But as people in general, I feel like energy, like how you're saying, energy follows thought, your thoughts become reality.
Sure.
And, if you don't have conviction in your reality, it's just going to fall flat, no one's going to buy into it. And as artists, like especially us who are trying to relate and build that connection with the audience, if you don't have that connect through the medium of your films
Sure.
and the kind of characters you're portraying, then I
think then what's the point?
The whole process is futile.
True.
Yeah.
What's the point then?
Yeah.
Mr. Khurrana ji, I have to say this, that the characters that you have been playing over a period of time, do you think that somewhere they represent, from a very theatrical point of view, I know you've done very serious theatre for about 5 years, Manch Tantra is your own group, all of that, And I'm so happy that it brings a little smile to your face. Yes, that's good. So, but you believe, we all did in theatre, if you remember, the everyman concept.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So do you feel that you're trying to break the fourth wall by getting into that perspective or that career path that you're trying to choose? Or is it something that you just embrace?
You know, every man never used to be like a star back in the day. It
True,
was
that's
part
right.
of
Yeah,
the
true.
off-center cinema or parallel cinema. The times have changed. Started.
Every woman was George Bernard Shaw and every man was... Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So the thing is, I probably represent the common man in every film of mine, which is like 70% of a nation dwells in a small city or the villages.
Sure.
And that's the core of our nation.
Sure.
I think it is just an illusion where we live in big cities and we have this illusion of a metropolitan, forward-thinking, progressive people sitting in a bubble. I think our country needs to evolve a lot. We have like...
You think we're still suppressed as a society?
Absolutely.
I think we're still very embryonic, right?
Very embryonic. As I think India is a thought, it's not a nation.
True.
It's a thought. We comprise of different languages, different religions, regions, and this is the way forward. Every man is the way forward. The stories of the common man and how they could live lives. The cinema doesn't need to really showcase that how society is. It is about how society could be.
Slightly more utopian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Chandigarh Kare Ashiki.
Bale bale shawa.
Thanks for that. The film is, at the end of the day, you're playing a Zumba trainer and whatever. You fall in love with this hunk of a man in the gym. I believe that's the storyline. And then from there, things tend to kind of get complicated or not so complicated, and you're trying to wrestle with each other and find a way forward, moving forward, right?
Yeah.
How does that, in a lot of ways, as an actor, right? How does that, from what you've done in the past, when you're kind of going into the entire preparation of something like this, what was that like for you? Because I've always been fascinated with the entire thought pattern of an individual, especially with the concept of the actor prepares, maybe, in a way. How is it like for you? Because in my head, it's always an interesting journey.
You have to be completely, you have to, you empty your mind and leave behind every other part that you've played in the past.
I'm
For me especially.
forever
Otherwise,
empty in terms
I will
of
all
the
mix it
mind.
up in my head and jumble and make my own character otherwise. But you have to be clean slate and absolutely follow the vision of your director, whatever his vision is for you. Of course, you can incorporate your own ideas and your whatever constructive, some opinion or anything that you'd want to embellish your character with.
True.
But in terms of Manvi, like you said, she's somebody who, it's a beautiful love story between these two people, Manu and Manvi, and how she practically gets in everything she finds in Manu, whatever that she's seeking in the world at large, and be it a sense of belonging or love or, just attention and in all aspects. And how as the journey unfolds, she's pushed to grave lows, and how she, when life knocks you down, you have to get up again as a stronger person and be your own hero at times, and how she...
Is that you, actually?
I am a very strong person, yeah. I am very solid, and even though I'm highly sensitive and extremely emotional, I also have a balance of strength with vulnerability. So I'd say I relate to that aspect of Mani. Yeah. So I would relate to Mani in that aspect, but there's so much more to her, she's, again, there's also a reflection of naivety in her, despite her being so wise for her age and being this strong girl, and how maybe a society kind of, when kind of oppresses her self-conviction and her belief, and she, it just triggers this internal resilience in her, and it's
nice.
very exciting and beautiful. And I think I have not played a character like this before. It's been very, very new and experimental, and all thanks to Gattu and Ayushmann, I've been able to hopefully do a decent job.
And she's brilliant in the film.
I'm pretty sure she is.
Yeah.
I, of course, have to ask the both of you guys this, which is the fact that, see, I'm from Delhi, you're from Chandigarh, she's from Delhi. What was the first experience or memory that you have when you came to Bombay? I'll tell you mine first.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with people going...
Yes.
The
I
auto
swear on
IS.
God, I couldn't. I looked around and I saw, मेरी पूंछ तो नहीं होगी? कहानी का कुत्ता तो नहीं हूँ? I didn't understand that. What's it like for you guys?
You know what? It was. I remember we used to go to IIT Powai for Mood Indigo and college festivals, and I heard this over there for the first time. Canteen में. canteen owner
Acha.
called me, order ready.
What is it like?
I was shocked.
Were you livid? Were you
Because
irritated? Were you angry?
in North, you only call dogs like that.
Exactly. My first
All
reaction
15 of us were like really angry, all boys from Chandigarh.
Exactly.
And we almost pounced on him. ये क्या है? क्या तू कर क्या रहा है?
चाहता क्या भाई?
हाँ, तो कहते ऐसे मैं तो बुला रहा था यहाँ पे ऐसे ही बुलाते हैं. So it was a great cultural shock. And apart from that, this city is a great leveler.
It is.
You will never see a 5-star hotel next to slums in Delhi or in any other city in the country or any other city in the world.
I agree with you.
So people live together. Like there's a huge difference between a guy in a skyscraper or somebody dwelling in a slum, but they are coexisting.
Yes, they are.
It's unbelievable.
The local trains are.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
people of all walks
senior
of life.
executives and everyone.
दिल्ली Chandigarh में कोई ट्रेन में जाएगा भी नहीं.
So true.
They have their own this thing. ये मैं ट्रेन में कैसे जा सकता हूँ? हाँ. People are very practical and real in Bombay.
That's so
I think I love the city.
So do I.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, it feels like home to me now.
No, your first experience.
Of Bombay?
Yeah,
Mumbai?
when you first came, like, of course, he and I have been treated like dogs. What about you?
What do I say? How do I sum it up? I think it's been a bit of everything.
Okay.
And there's obviously initial bit of struggle and all. When I came here, actually, it sounds very easy right now that I came here and I auditioned and I got the part.
True.
But then there were a lot of a series of auditions that I had to do. And my only condition with Shanu Sharma, the casting director of Yash Raj Films, was that I'm not willing to move until I have a film in hand, because I'm not going to be a struggler here struggling all my life. And I'm I'm also very realistic. So I thought that I'm going to give these many years, like a year or two or whatever. Like if it works, it works. Otherwise, I go back and I model and I do something else. Luckily, to my this thing, it worked.
Beautiful.
And all those little tiny bit struggles here and there.
Thankfully for us as well, because we see so much of your talent on screen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody else who's listening to it feels the same.
And of course, it's time now that I have to let you guys go.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been told and they're coming after
They've been
me
signaling
with
you. I saw.
But before you guys go, I would request you if you could give like a nice little message around the film, and obviously to all the people who love you and adore you.
So Chandigarh Ke Aashiqui is a wonderful, vibrant, youthful film, and it has a message. It's a mind-bending love story, and it's our labor of love.
Yeah, it's a story all heart, and it's just beautifully made, and I think you'll have to experience the film to know what it is and what it stands for.
Fabulous. So well, you guys have heard it from both the stars of the film, and let me just tell you before I leave you guys that Ayushmann has pumped up for this film in a big way, like Dolas and Sholas also. So please watch the film.
Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
There are some stories, Suchi, which are completely unbelievable, and like the one I'm going to be sharing with all of you guys right now is a tearjerker. It shakes you to your very foundation. Salman Khan struggling.
Chale, bas kya?
Doesn't it sound like Are you
Salman
okay,
Khan
Suchi?
struggling. I mean, like, come on.
I got a little worried back there. What
But
happened?
no, seriously?
Yeah, apparently he struggled a lot.
Huh.
It's a tearjerker, Suchi. Brace yourself.
Tell.
I braced myself. So yeah, but no, but it's true. It's actually true. Salman Khan started off as a background dancer when he was 14 years old, because the man wanted to kind of
Make some pocket
start
money.
earning money or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's commendable. I mean, at that
Damn
young
good,
an
yeah.
age, right? And he got 75 rupees
Oh,
for the very first time when he
sweet.
danced at this show at the Taj
Okay,
in Mumbai.
okay.
Of course, then from there on, he started to find more work. He was not getting any work, so he started assisting. He was
Shashilal Nair.
Absolutely.
remember
he was
that
an
one. I
assistant
remember that
director.
one. Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
And then of course
Falak,
he
I
got
think, was the film.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you want to tell the story, huh?
You tell that story next one.
Then of course he goes on to get a small role in a film called Bibi Ho To Aisi, which had Farooq Sheikh and
Rekha?
Thank you, Suchi. No,
Yes.
but anyway. So from there on, the gentleman of course carries on. He's not finding any work, and then the big film happens. मैंने प्यार
यही
किया.
सच है शायद मैंने प्यार किया
What a Subramaniam in the house.
शायद मैंने प्यार किया. Oh, sorry.
was nice, Suchi.
SP.
रोंगटे खड़े हो गए.
SP.
हाँ.
सुचित्रा बोले SP
Got it.
वाले ट्विस्ट ऐसा.
Suchi, there's poetic moments
Yes,
in the show, na?
amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but of course, carrying on with the story, Maine Pyar Kiya, of course, was a huge hit, and
Bhagyashree.
all that was going on. Now, everyone would expect that Salman Khan, after the film, would get work like oodles of it.
Yeah.
But he
was
did
damn
not.
cute also in the
Yeah,
film. He was
exactly.
damn good. Yeah.
But he did not get work for almost about 4 to 5 months after the film.
Wow.
Because there was this narrative which was going on that Bhagyashree was the person who made the most impact, and Salman Khan was just somebody who was just hanging around there.
And after that movie,
She got married.
Bhagyashree bhagod to find her own Shri. I couldn't get over this. I did one.
I don't think I'll ever get over it because it's
I
scarred
wrote
me.
something right now, right here, better than Rama.
That's your yardstick?
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah. Maro, Peter! No, but yes,
Yeah, but-
so Bhagyashree ran off. Wo bhagi
Yeah.
to find her own Shri.
Yeah.
And she married Himalaya.
Exactly.
Himalaya.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Must have been quite a run. But yeah, anyway.
You know what? Can I tell you something? Vaani Kapoor time, okay? There was Filmfare Awards that was happening. Mazhar Khan got
Right,
his role.
right.
He was directing the show, okay? And this had become a big hit. You will not believe I was asked to do. It was this whole. The set was like all of these little frames on
Right.
the stage, and each one represented a different film from the 60s, 70s,
nice.
80s, 90s, or whatever. And I actually did Kabutar Ja 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 in my little
Nice.
thing, yeah, pretending to be.
Pigeon.
No, pretending to be Bhagyashree.
No, I'm so sorry.
I was not a peasant.
Hey, that would have been sheer fine acting.
Well, then again, so that was long ago for Salman Khan, yeah, because now we know. He's
But
not
you know,
stuck up-
interestingly, Suchi, that's another reason why the man works constantly, because he's got this fear
Yeah.
that he
in
might
spite
not
of
get
being
work.
Salim Khan's son and
all of
that.
all
huh?
of that. He still believes in constantly working because he's had this sort of a journey.
Yeah.
So he's always a little anxious about the fact that if he stops working, he might not get work.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
amazing, isn't it?
Wow.
Strange. Sometimes you look at
सलमान ने प्यार किया.
नहीं, वो
Oh, sorry,
वजह
yeah,
नहीं
sorry.
थी, हाँ.
हाँ.
But I was just going to
Okay,
end
bye.
I was just going to end on this, that fear is like a fire. It either you can kind of let it burn and ignite your future, or you can let it consume you. That's probably what fits Salman, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, on that note,
I've impressed myself.
well, that was some information for all of you on Hear It Here with Sudhi and
Suchi, Suchi.
we have a whole lot more coming up for you in our next episode about all things about Bollywood. See you
And of
then.
course, a lot more as well. Suchi.
Yeah. Fine.
Hear it here with Sudhi and Suchi.